tell you for a fact that this election is between...
They sold farm recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Straight Talk right here on Bright Television, home of talk and entertainment. Don't forget that the program is basically designed to look deep into issues that affect Nigeria as a country and Nigerians as citizens. Welcome to the program. My name is Ayobami Adeyemo. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and catch us live on YouTube. Make sure you get your TS TV decoder, channel 102 on TSTV Africa. That's where you get to watch us from. Let's get to talk about some big stories in the media space this morning. Well, it's no more news that the court in the High Court in Kogi State ruled against the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, talking about Mr. Abdurrashid Bawa to be remanded in Kuje. What reactions towards that direction? Some over 100 CSOs across Nigeria protested in Lagos State, demanding that Mr. Bawa should be removed from the office. The EFCC chair has refused to obey the court order, and the CSOs have been saying that, well, if indeed you really want to fight corruption in our country, Nigeria, it's high time you also live by example. You live by example. That is what they're asking. And of course, they ask the federal government, especially the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, to do the needful at this moment. We'll cross over to Lagos State and come back to give you more.
To see here today because we are beginning to see anti-democratic elements within the democratic process who are daily drawing us back in the fight against corruption. This is a
Well, we definitely bring to you the exclusive version of the particular report. But away from that, let's cross straight to the meeting held in Abuja here by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC has said that there's no need to doubt their readiness towards these 2023 presidential and, of course, all the elections, the general election at large. The INEC has said that some of the polling units, some polling units will be affected in some areas in Nigeria. About 240 polling units, according to INEC, says will not be having elections due to some situations and circumstances beyond control. But we'll cross over to the press briefing by the chairman and, of course, every other stakeholders over this particular issue. We'll be back to give you more.
240 polling units without registered voters spread across 28 states and the Federal Capital Territory. They range from 1 polling unit to 12 polling units in each state and the FCT, except Taraba and Imo states with 34 and 38 polling units respectively. No new registrants choose the polling units and no voters indicated interest to transfer to them during the last continuous voter registration exercise, mainly for security reasons. This means that no elections will be held in these polling units.
It is an abhorrence and crudity, if not savagery, to see state governors denying campaign venues to political parties other than their own. This is crude, undemocratic, primitive, and uncivilized. Finally, I would want to admonish party leaders that having observed that the elections are conducted free, fair, and credible, the results should be accepted for the love of our country.
Well, assurance from the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission over the general elections that will also kick off on the 25th of February. Just 10 days to go, and definitely Nigerians are watching. Nigerians will decide. Well, still in that mood, many political parties are wrapping up their rallies across Nigeria. But the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, stopped at Imo State yesterday, where the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria also led every other delegates into that state to canvass for votes from the loyalists of the All Progressive Congress. The president says that he's rest assured that this election will be free, fair, and credible. He also urged Nigerians to vote for the ruling party's candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and every other person.
The day for the APC family in Imo State, as the presidential train moved to the state. First, President Buhari, alongside Governor Hope Uzodinma, inaugurated first phase of 5.5 kilometers MCC Toronto Dual Carriageway, built by the Imo State government. Then the campaign train moved to Dan Anyam Stadium, where President Buhari urged Imo citizens to vote for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as the next president.
We are here today. We are very grateful for your turnout. We are very grateful for your support. And God willing, Asiwaju is going to be delivered as the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have come to solicit for your support. We believe very strongly that what we have seen this afternoon is most promising.
For Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Imo State will be a destination of tourism as part of his developmental plans if elected next president of Nigeria.
The developmental program of APC will not stop. We are going to make Imo State one of most attractive destinations for tourism. We are going to add value to your real estate. We are going to reconstruct, re-beautify your roads. We are going to invest in education.
Imo State is an APC state, both in spirit and in action. So I want to assure you that we will never disappoint your expectations. All we ask is the enabling environment. You have worked so hard to be able to control and manage the high level of security that visited Imo State and indeed the Southeast.
The ruling All Progressives Congress believes that with the reception in Imo State, the people of the state will vote his presidential candidate come February 25th.
Yes, from Imo State, we cross straight to Enugu State, where the leading opposition party, People's Democratic Party, had their own stopover right there. You recall that the People's Democratic Party had to postpone their rally that was supposed to be held in Rivers State to have a peaceful one in Enugu State. The chairman of the party also confirmed that this election will definitely be free, fair, and credible. He asked Nigerians to definitely go out there and exercise their franchise as a vote for the PDP. And of course, the presidential candidate of the party also promised that he will unite Nigerians if given the chance to rule this country. We'll cross over. We'll be back to discuss more.
Governor is going to be Mr. Peter Mbaya. Peter Mbaya, who will continue the legacy of the PDP in Enugu State. And I believe the development strides that we achieved under the PDP nationally and Enugu will continue. I don't have more to come here and campaign to you because it's like talking to the already converted. You are all believers in PDP. Those who are coming to deceive you to vote for the other party, called Labour Party, they are deceiving you because a vote for Labour Party is a vote for APC. And I can tell you that voting for APC will not solve the problem of Nigeria. Vote for PDP and let's continue all that we have been doing in Enugu under PDP so that Peter Mbaya will develop and work hand in hand with Atiku Abubakar. And it's on that note that I'm happy today to invite our governor, Mr. Peter Mbaya, to come forward and collect this important flag of the PDP with his deputy and go around and conquer. Thank you and God bless you all. PDP! Enugu people, I don't hear you. PDP! Power! PDP! Power! Let me again apologize to you for the delay in the commencement of this rally. We sincerely did not intend to keep you waiting too long, but because of the various protocols and the courtesy visits that led us to come in here late. In spite of that, I want to say that I am very, very pleased with the attendance and the crowd I have seen here in Enugu today. Whoever says there is no PDP in Enugu is not saying the truth. There is PDP in Enugu, and Enugu has been PDP from inception and is still PDP today and will continue to be PDP. When I came here a few months ago to attend a zonal conference of the Southeast, I said to the Southeasterners or to the Igbos, I am going to be the stepping stone to an Igbo presidency. And I mean it. And I mean it. Whether an Igbo man is from the Southeast or from the South-South, it is the same race. And today,
Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Meanwhile, the G5 governors have said that they will definitely be loud and clear on the 25th of February when they want to elect the presidential candidate, or of course the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, answering questions and of course talking about the fact that they are quiet and of course the G5 do not exist anymore. The members said, well, on the 25th of February, it will be loud and clear to Nigerians. And joining us to have a conversation about this direction, the People's Democratic Party's activities, and of course, the plans for the 25th of February, which direction is People's Democratic Party looking out towards to look at this particular conversation this morning. I have a member of the PCC and of course the PRO of the Youth Stakeholders Forum of the People's Democratic Party, Comrade Samuel DANJUMA, joins us on the program this morning. Good morning, Comrade Samuel DANJUMA.
Good morning, my brother.
Good to have you on the program. And well, let's kick off from where the fact that the People's Democratic Party had to postpone the rally, which people, especially members, have been waiting for. Talking about the Rivers State rally. Keep us up to speed. What exactly is the idea behind that?
The good thing about that was, I think our leaders sat and looked at the situation on ground in Rivers State when it comes to security. We had our members, the members of the leader of the PCC in Rivers State, who was attacked some few weeks ago, and the party looked at the security situation and the statement coming from the governor of the state, who is the chief security officer of the state, and felt that at this point, the life of Nigerians from Rivers State, our members, is so important to us that we won't risk their lives just because we want to have a rally. So for now, we have to put the rally on hold, just for the fact that people's lives are at risk. That's the reason behind suspending the Rivers.
So are we going to see the train, of course, the presidential candidates go to Rivers State before the 25th, of course, before you wrap up the rally activities of your party?
Yes, there's every possibility that he will. And even if he doesn't go to Rivers State, the people of Rivers State already have gotten the message. The people of Rivers State knows how much Principal, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, loves Rivers State. Rivers State is a PDP state. We have said this repeatedly. Rivers State is a PDP state. It's not the state in contention as far as the People's Democratic Party is concerned. We remember in 2015, the sitting governor left our party and went to the opposition party. And Rivers won. In 2019, PDP still won Rivers State. So, see, I was reading about Professor Ango of the Northern Elders Forum. He said something. He said the governors will not be able to decide who the people will vote for. The governor will not be the one to decide who the people will vote for. He is important. We're not saying he's not important. But at this point of Nigerian lives, Nigerians are looking at who is going to deliver on his promises. People are suffering. There's no naira in circulation. There's fuel scarcity biting hard. And people are not interested in party politics and what happens between your party. Even the G5 itself are not even bold enough now. I remember their leader saying that he was going to tell Nigerians in January who he was going to vote for, and he will go around. But as we speak, he has not been able to come out openly to say this is who I'm standing for. So in that situation, I don't think we have any problem in Rivers State.
They've also said that on the 25th, they'll be loud and clear that the People's Democratic Party will know their position. Like you rightly said, let's look at some particular issues. Now, not only the People's Democratic Party has been affected about this cash swap policy. Every other political parties are talking about that. But I must say that your principal was one of those that first came out to plead for extension towards this effect. Now, today, the Supreme Court definitely will be sitting again.
Yes.
Let me have your reaction to the situation.
What my principal did at first was what every leader who has the interest of his people at heart will do. Plead for an extension, which he did, and the extension was granted. But along the line, we find out that there was becoming a lot of political coloration to what was happening, and he had to say, okay, go ahead with the policy, because at the end of it, everybody will be happy for it. No change comes without a pain. For every positive change to be effected, there must be a time of transition, which is the time of this pain we are feeling. I know it's just for a while. With time, everything will normalize, and Nigerians will be happy for this policy. And we are okay with it. We are fine with it. It's not affecting anything about our party. We are prepared, and we are ready for this election.
Well, many people have said, especially the governor of Kaduna State, has talked about Kaba in the presidency, saying that probably they are working for your principal against their own presidential candidates. Is there anything like that? Because it seems as if People's Democratic Party is so comfortable with every policy that is on ground.
Will be flushed immediately.
No, it's not that we are so comfortable with every policy that is on ground right now. The policy of the money change. It's a policy that, from those who came about today, have said that this policy, and we have checked that this policy will help Nigerians in the long run. One, it will help vote buying in these elections, which is something that has categorized our elections in the past. And we are happy for it. Anything that will make the vote of the people, the will of the people count, we are in for it. And that's what we're just doing. So it's not that we're just comfortable with what's up. No, we are happy things are going the way it's going. We are happy that at least at the end of this tenure, this government is beginning to do something good for the first time, which we are okay with it. It's not that every other policy, we're still talking about security. Security is still a challenge. Fuel scarcity is still there. So it's not that because there's a cabal, we don't believe there's a cabal working for anybody. See, what's happening is simple. When you have a good product to sell, you sell it with ease. My party, the People Democratic Party, has a very good candidate in a very good product in his candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, which is easy for us to sell, not the other way around. Now, it's funny whereby a party in power are the one crying foul about the policy, so they are even indicting their own government.
So what does that mean to you? Because a lot of questions, from every angle, people have said if the ruling party is having its own share of crisis in this particular situation, is it a plus for other parties, especially the People's Democratic Party? Do you see that working effectively for you in this election?
In every contest, when your opponents are fighting within their houses, an added advantage for you. So everybody will be fine with it. In every contest, when there's an infighting in the camp of your opposition, it makes it easier for you to conquer. So to us, earlier before now, they were shouting that our party had crisis. I think we've been able to manage it to a point that
your party still have crisis.
No. See, what our party is having is not crisis. I keep saying this on this forum. Our party is not having a crisis. So what we just have people. We have people who have their own interest, and they're trying to see how they can force their interest down the throat of the party, which is not working out for them. It's simple. You can't have it all. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. But it's just that they are not good sportsmen. That's what is happening. Okay, you told us that you were going to tell us who your candidate was, and you're going to go all about Nigeria campaigning for a candidate in January. January has ended. Elections is less than 10 days from today, and yet to come out. So that shows that they were not actually fighting for the people. They were fighting for their own selfish interest.
Well, he mentioned it that, he never asked or said it on national TV that he was going to call press.
He did.
To come listen to him and, of course, give a name of the person that
he did. The clips are there.
All right. Well, we'll just take a short break. When we return, we'll be having more conversations still at the Straight Talk, and I have my guest in the studio with us. We're looking at the People's Democratic Party's activities, this particular as they wind down their campaigns, activities for the year 2023 towards the general elections. And my guest is right here, Comrade Samuel Danjuma, a member of the PCC and, of course, the PRO, Young Stakeholders Forum of the People's Democratic Party. We'll be back. Stay with us, please.
So you thought you couldn't get celebrity gist on television? Think again. Your favorite celebrity show, Noise Floor, is here on your screen to entertain you with intense drama, healing conflicts, celebrity wins, and loads of fun. Get ready for explosive episodes of Noise Floor with S.A. Ufoma. The Noise Floor, we speak entertainment.
Tell you for a fact that this election is between.
They sold farm recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdering substance will be flushed immediately.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. Straight Talk right here on Bright Television, Home of Talk and Entertainment. Ayobami, Adeyemo is my name. I have my guest in the studio with us. We're looking at the People's Democratic Party's activities these last minutes towards the general elections. And joining me having conversation towards this direction is a member of the PCC, PRO, a Young Stakeholders Forum of the People's Democratic Party, Comrade Samuel DANJUMA. Thank you once again for being part of the program.
You're welcome.
All right, so we showed a clip of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission saying that INEC is ready for this general election. He also emphasized the fact that some polling units, they gave a figure of 240 polling units will be affected, that elections will not hold in 240 polling units in 2023. Are you satisfied with the preparations and, of course, the fact that INEC is giving these figures at this point in time?
With what INEC has done so far and the level of transparency in the preparations and towards the 2023 elections, we are still comfortable with what INEC has said, and we believe that INEC chairman and INEC as a body will stand by their word and deliver an election that is credible to the best of their abilities. We don't have a problem with that for now, because most of the concerns they have raised are concerns that everybody knows that these are actually challenges. Some of the concerns was that he said in some of those polling units, people did not actually transfer their PBCs to those polling units. So that means the polling units were created in anticipation that people were actually, but they didn't. So you won't blame INEC for that. And security issues also are there, so which is something we are facing generally. You won't also blame INEC for that. So from the explanation so far, up to this minute, we are still fair with INEC.
Well, CBN's policy, especially the cash, the old and the new Naira note swap policy by the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the monetary policy by the Central Bank of Nigeria has been targeted towards reducing vote buying and vote selling in Nigeria. And you recall that just some few weeks ago, your party and the All Progressive Congress, the ruling party, fought over the alleged 22.5 billion vote buying fund that's been, of course, in the media space here and there. What exactly is happening? Is it that is being used by, I asked you a question of the Kaaba, but what exactly is happening? What's your position, the position of your party right now?
Now, to the best of my knowledge, my party is a party that does not believe in vote buying. And that's why you see we are comfortable with the CBN policy, because we don't believe in vote buying. There's an allegation. And we have not stacked any cash anywhere to buy any vote. What we are only telling Nigerians is we have a good product. We have someone who is ready, prepared, who has worked over the past 30 years preparing for this job, who is ready to hit the ground running from the first day he gets into office. We're only telling Nigerians what we will be able to do on what we have done in the past, and what we'll do, how we'll improve on what we'll do for the betterment of Nigerians. And we're asking them to vote for us based on who we are as a party and our candidates. We're not interested in vote buying. We don't have a problem with vote buying. That's why you see when the first time my principal spoke, he spoke in the interest of Nigerians. The extension was granted. Later, when he saw that the other party wanted to politicize it, what did he say? He said, okay, it's fine. I don't have a problem with this. This is not why. But the thing is, let the right thing be done. Let this money be in circulation for Nigerians. Naira now is a scarce commodity. Both, even the old one we buy, you buy the old, you buy the new, just to be able to make transactions and all that. The electronic transactions are not working. You transfer money, it doesn't go. So we don't have a problem with CBN policy. We are fine with it, because our party does, and we will not indulge in vote buying.
Well, the ruling party, the presidential candidate, has called your principal names over and over, especially saying that he's going to sell many assets in Nigeria. He has no plan. And you talked about the plans you antecedent over the years. 16 years, PDP ruled Nigeria. And would that be the template? Even you also recall that the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, also has distanced himself from your principal, Atiku Abubakar. Is that going to play well for you? Even
In 2019, the same Olusegun Obasanjo, former president Olusegun Obasanjo, campaigned for my candidate because he knows the qualities and the ability, the capacity of my candidate, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, that this is the kind of person Nigeria needs. Now, we don't have a problem with name calling. I always say this: when you find out that you are losing the battle, you are losing the election, you result in name calling and insulting people. That's not what Nigerians want to hear. Nigerians want to know what you want to do better from what your government is doing presently. And we have had this, the APC candidate repeatedly saying that he will continue from where Buhari stops. Do you want to tell us that you're going to continue with fuel scarcity? Are you going to tell us you're going to continue with insecurity? Are you telling us that we're going to continue with high cost of living? Are you going to tell us you're going to continue with high cost of buying foodstuffs in the market? That's not what my party is saying. My party, I've said this repeatedly, the policy of my party is just on 5 key points and 5 key areas. Seed, security, economy, education, and devaluation of power, which is what we need. Then we have the covenant with Nigerians. How are we going to do this? When people say my candidate sold things, I always laugh at it. And why do I laugh? It's simple. He was not the chief.
Or was a vice president.
He was the vice president who was in charge. He made a recommendation, which the president gave go ahead. Right? Now, if, like I said the other time, if those policies were allowed to try to run for a longer period of time, would have all be better for it for now. I give an example of one that is very close to me, which is the Ajakuta Steel Company. The steel technology that they used for Ajakuta Steel Company is obsolete. There are more modern technologies in producing steel now. So will you not tell me that if His Excellency comes tomorrow and said, okay, Ajakuta Steel Company, let's privatize it, you say he has sold a national asset. What was the value of those assets before they were sold? What was those assets bringing to the national coffers? Nothing. They were just there and workers were being paid salary. Money was just being, and he felt no. The best thing to do is, see, I always say government is not good in doing business. Because the thing is, when you put someone there, he wants to bring in his brother and his sister who even might not be able to deliver in those areas. You were talking about cabals. You had the allegation that the chairman or the MD of Nigerian Minting and Printing Press is who? Well, you understand? So this is why I keep saying we're not good in doing business. Government is not good. So the best thing is, what is not bringing in anything, let it go. Let a private man will not pay you if you're not giving
so
value for services.
The achievement of 16 years.
The achievement of 16 years of the PDP are enough to bring us back to power. The 16 years of the PDP, life was easy for Nigerians. A bag of rice was how much? 8,000 naira. Fuel was sold at how much? 60. At least the highest we sold fuel was 87 naira per liter. Dollar was 190, around 190, 200 before we left government. Today, what is dollar? Today, what's the price of fuel? I traveled to the south last week. I bought fuel at 550 naira per liter at a filling station, not from the black market. That's not what it was before now.
Well, many people argue with you that it's a global phenomenon.
No.
Every country in this particular period.
Did you remember that this same government told us when they were coming that they will build one refinery for every 1 year, for every year? Today, they are almost 8 years down the line. Not even half refinery has been built. Is that what we're talking about? So if they had built the refineries like they said, by now we won't be facing what we're facing. That's just it. You won't be facing what you're facing. So this government cannot be excused from the suffering of Nigerians right now.
Well, the party has also said, especially the candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I'm just trying to quote him now. He has said that, well, he will continue on the achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari, and we should look at his own antecedents now, his own past records, the track records. He has been able to do a lot of things. Comparing both track records, you feel probably your principal has a hedge in winning this election.
My principal has a hedge in winning this election. It's simple.
And of course, we compare with Peter Obi's track record. We compare with every other person's track record.
One person I won't want to talk about again in this today is Peter Obi.
Why don't you want to?
Why I don't want to talk about Peter Obi?
He's a candidate in this race.
Yeah, he's a candidate in this race, but it's time we stop giving him credit to falsehood. Peter Obi will come and quote figures that does not exist just to say what people will want to hear and be happy. And I ask people, Obi was governor for 8 years. Ngige was governor for two years or thereabout before he left. The project Ngige did in Anambra, thank God Ngige is no more of the PDP. Ngige now is in the APC, so it doesn't look as if I'm praising because, but he was in the PDP then. The projects he did are still there for all to see. I've asked people repeatedly, show me projects that Obi did. Is it by investing state government money in a company that your family has interest in? Is it by investing state government, by saving state government money in banks that you had interest? He has shares in the Access Bank, he has shares in Fidelity Bank, he has shares in Diamond Bank. You now invest money there, you're not clapping hands for yourself that you've done anything. Were there no other banks? Why didn't he invest in Zenith? Why didn't he invest in UBA? Why were there no other industries in Anambra? Why didn't he invest in them? Why is it that he was only investing in hospitals and schools that were owned by the Catholic Church? Is that what we're talking about? Is it somebody who is already going by ethnic line and religious line? Is that the kind of leader we want? No, we want someone who will unify this country. Someone who will bring us together. Someone who will make every Nigerian see themselves as Nigerians first. Not as an Igbo, not as an Hausa, not as a Yoruba man. And that person is no other person than His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Well, interesting conversation indeed, and I must say that Nigerians will definitely decide come the 25th of February this year. Definitely, it's going to be one of those things that chose. But let's cross straight to the seat that your principal has given as one of the major driving force for the development in Nigeria. Now, I'm talking about the challenges we face right now. Unemployment is one of it. You've mentioned fuel scarcity. You mentioned scarcity of cash.
Yes,
at the same time, and security issues. Now, how do we sum this up to solve, to cushion the challenges or the problems Nigerians are facing right now? You've given him the chance to be the president in just few days to go now.
God has blessed Nigeria with everything we need. Everything. Both human and mineral resources. What we lack is leadership. And what my principal is bringing to the table is leadership. Quality leadership. There are lots of policies. There are lots of laws. But what we lack is implementation. The will, the political will to implement them. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has this.
So People's Democratic Party, what's going to be the different parts that they will use in implementing any policy in Nigeria? We've seen it in 16 years. We've seen it in the Progressive Congress region.
The TSA is the policy of the People's Democratic Party. We started it. They implemented it fully. The agricultural reforms started with the PDP. We started it, and they continued, which we will give credit for. Though up till now, we're not yet food sufficient. Now, these are signs and these are proofs that when we get into power, it's not just by saying, we're going to put round pegs in round holes, square pegs in square holes. That's what do I mean by this? Putting the right people in the right position. We're not going to be doing this, every of the head of security is from one part of the country. No. We're not going to be doing appointments based on religion and ethnicity. No. We're going to bring in the right person for the job and place the person there. And when you know the body language of your leader, that your leader wants results, you have no other option than to give results. So we are going to do things differently. Like I said, Nigeria was not this bad in the 16 years of the PDP. Insecurity was not like this. Fuel scarcity was not as bad as it is today. Yes, in the early stage, but we were able to rectify it. The Jonathan administration, for the time, there was no fuel scarcity. Fuel was the only time we had issues with fuel was in January 2012, where there was increment, and when we normalized it, everything went smoothly. You drive into the filling station and you drive out.
So corruption is one of the talking points under the People's Democratic Party. Corruption was
every Nigerian should pray. Every Nigerian should
what's
pray.
Going to be different?
Every Nigerian should pray that this government, APC, doesn't return to power. When you hear the level of corruption under this government, you will marvel. Now, my party brought the ICPC. My party brought the EFCC. Which are anti-corruption agencies to fight anti-corruption. I always make an example. A party steward was sent to prison under my government, Chief Bode George, and lots of them, a lot of convictions, where EFCC got a lot of conviction under the People's Democratic Party. our candidate, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, I keep saying it, was one of those who gave the startup phone for EFCC. So this to tell you that he's somebody that has this, he has this willpower to fight corruption when he gets into power, and he will do that.
Well, education, you mentioned education as part of the seat, right? Definitely.
Yes.
What exactly will be different from what we've been seeing? We've seen crises, we've seen strikes here and there.
When we get into power, we'll call every stakeholder to the table, and we'll agree on going further. Now, my principal is someone who has interest in education, coming from his humble beginning and how he was able to be educated. And like I always say it's that we need him more than he needs us, because it's time to give back. He was trained by the British on scholarship. So this is someone that has interest in education. He knows the value of education. So certainly he wouldn't want our children to be at home. He will implement 4-year course when he gets into power. He has interest in education. You see the American University is running. And so certainly he will come up with what he has, not that he will, there are policies already, it's just for him to get into power and begin to run with them. So I'm assuring Nigerians that when His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar becomes the President of the Republic of Nigeria, by the grace of God, May 29th this year, your 4-year course will be 4 years.
I hope your 4 years will not be 8 years.
No. Your 4 years,
probably students will also want to go for second term.
No.
If given 4 years will be 4 years, 6 years.
4 years is 4 years.
Interesting indeed. Well, as the PRO of the Young Stakeholders Forum, a lot of canvassing, of course, towards that particular region. What's been the message you've been sending to the Nigerian youth? Knowing fully well that there have been a lot of distractions here and there. Many political parties are also getting many attentions or more attentions from the youths in our country, Nigeria. So
we have told the youths, I'm a young person. I'm here canvassing for His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Watch him. He's surrounded by young people. He's a youth-friendly presidential candidate, and he's going to be a youth-friendly president. He believes in the younger generation. I tell people that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the bridge between the old and the young. He's bringing us together, enhancing the qualities and the abilities and the knowledge of the young people to deliver to Nigerians what we want. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar believes in young people. He has done it before. He's going to do it again when he gets into power. So the young people are rest assured and should feel at home with His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. They should not be distracted. We have seen what the APC have done. See, Labour Party to me are not ready. It's not by name calling and insulting people and bullying people on social media. Are you actually speaking to the issues? Which is what they are not doing. So it's only the People's Democratic Party.
Because they don't be speaking, or that's your opinion.
But that's the truth. It's there. If you ask the Labour Party candidate, the movement, the obedient movement, why should we vote your candidate? Instead of telling you why they should vote your candidate, they begin to insult you, insult your father, insult your mother, insult your relations, insult your wives. That's what we are up to. Are you bringing up a generation that do not regard elders? We're Africans, for crying out loud. But this generation, the obedient movement, insult elders at will, just because you don't believe in their candidate. I mustn't vote for your candidate. That is why it's called democracy. You should tell me why I should, convince me why I should. The only party that is speaking to the young people, the only party that is giving the young people assurance is no other party than the People's Democratic Party. And the only candidate is His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The accusations here and there of the Labour Party candidates having only one ethnic group around him, is that what we're talking about? No. You have an Hausa man, you have a Yoruba man, you have an Igbo man around His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is concerned about Nigeria. He's a pan-Nigeria, he's a nationalist. Not just one section of the country. So, I'm telling the young people, and the message we are telling the young people is, vote for His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He will create jobs for the young people. There will be enabling environment for the young people to strive. And that is it.
Well, a lot to be discussed, on the program this morning, but time will not permit us to do that. But I know it's just 10 days to go, and Nigerians will definitely want to, they're waiting, they want to be out there to vote for their own choice to rule Nigeria for the next 4 years. Now, after the 25th, there will be a lot of development from one angle to the other. Some persons have also, tried as much as possible to look into different angles to different stories, saying that probably there might be a rerun if conditions warrant such thing. If there is a rerun, what do you think? What's your opinion about that?
There's not going to be a rerun.
I'm just saying
there won't be a rerun, so we're not even anticipating a rerun. It's going to be a straight victory.
Victory for your party?
For my party, the People's Democratic Party. You can see Nigerians yearning for the return of the People's Democratic Party. I said it earlier. What was the cost of rice? What was the cost of foodstuff? What was the cost of petroleum in the affiliate station?
So the party is going to get every percentage from every part of the country.
We are getting, see, PDP is a national party. I always say that this contest is between the People's Democratic Party and the APC. We have a national coverage. As we speak, the Labour Party only submitted only 40,000 agents in an election where you have 176.606 polling units, and you say this party are ready? They are not. So the contest is between the People's Democratic Party and the APC, and it's like the contest is light and darkness. The light is the PDP, the darkness is the APC. Nigerians have seen from both sides. People say marry two wives. When you marry two wives, or you marry two husbands, you will know which one is better. Nigerians have seen that indeed the People's Democratic Party was the best time they ever had since our return to democracy. And I put it to you that there's not going to be a rerun. It's going to be a straight victory. What we are going to have, where we won't have where we don't win, we'll get the required 25% vote. And across board, the People's Democratic Party is going to form the next government come 29 May.
Well, we wish your party all the best. Definitely, we wish your principal all the best, and of course every other member of the political party. But just a very quick one. I think yes, a message just came in. Well, we've been arguing this. There's no difference between People's Democratic Party and APC. We cross.
There is a big difference between the People's Democratic Party.
Okay, just give me a clear one. We've seen members of People's Democratic Party cross to APC.
Yes,
we've seen members of APC cross to People's.
But if you watch the last few months running to this election, it has been the APC crossing to the Democratic Party. Why? Because most of our members have gone to the APC and seen that the PDP was better, the PDP was light, and they are beginning to come back home to where they belong and tell Nigerians that we have gone, we have seen. Nigerians, the best.
So what happened to the ideology of the when you crossed? Do you change it?
I'd see, there's a lot, like I always tell people, after these elections, I think our political leaders have to go back to the drawing board and now sit down and restructure every aspect of our national life. Because people see that normally, you're not supposed to be switching from one party to another. But because politics is all about interest, you find out that when your interest is not protected in this political party, the next thing is you jump to the next political party. But we have people who have actually stayed put in the People's Democratic Party and have not gone anywhere from the beginning, from the inception till date. And now, and most times
I think why saying that, you also recall that even Governor Nyesom Wike also mentioned that he has been there from onset, and of course he has never moved there. Is that why he's not happy with the party?
You see, Governor Wike's aspect of annoyance has become personal.
Because he's also a member,
Yes, he has been a member of the party. I've always said, I've given him credit. He has worked for the party.
And he's still part of the People's Democratic Party.
As we speak up to this minute, no doubt about that. And we appreciate that. But we are saying at this point, what is important is returning Nigerian back to the track, returning Nigerian back to recovery, returning Nigerian back. That's why we are preaching recovery and unifying the country. When we are now back, we can now decide on where power goes to and where power do not go to. But not at this point. When you want to win a match, you put your first 11 forward. And our first 11, our captain, is no other person than Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And when we get back to power, we can now sit down and now discuss on every other aspect of the party.
Well, thank you so much indeed. We're grateful for your time on the program this beautiful morning. We've been having a conversation with a member of the PCC, of the People's Democratic Party, also the PRO of the Young Stakeholders Forum of the People's Democratic Party, in the person of Comrade Samuel DANJUMA. Thank you once again for being part of the program today.
It's my pleasure.
That's the package on today's edition of Straight Talk right here on Bright Television, home of talk and entertainment. Don't forget that we come your way at exactly 10 o'clock every day from Mondays to Fridays. And don't forget, like I always remind you, I keep telling you, when you play your part, I play my part, we'll have a better place called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. On behalf of everyone that's been part of the production behind the scenes, so thank you so much. My name is Ayobami Adeyemo. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Goodbye.
Tell you for a fact that This election is between...
They sold form recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdery substance will be flushed immediately